right, here we are live with Rams Call.
Howdy.
Perfect. Sorry, we got a little bit of a technical issue going on here tonight, so we're gonna play this one out here. So first and foremost, thanks for coming on the show. Obviously, why don't you guys give us a little backstory for anyone who might not know you?
Jeez. Okay. Do you want to go or do you
Sure.
want to?
So yeah, we are Ramskull. We're a four-piece heavy metal band from Manitoba. How would we describe our sound? Somewhere between like doom and experimental metal and kind of everything, I guess. I don't know.
It's Canadian metal. It's metal with a little bit of Canadian.
Excellent. And how long have you guys been together for now?
We started Ramskull in very late 2015, so we're slowly pushing the 10-year mark.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh, good for you guys. And 2 EPs.
Yeah, like we call them full-length albums. I mean, they are not many songs on them, but they are like 50 minutes, like between 45 and 50-minute albums. So
yeah, that's the
songs are long. Yeah.
Yeah. I will admit I haven't listened to much of the first one, but I've definitely been spinning the second one this week. So of the bands I've had, you're definitely the heaviest ones.
All right. Yeah.
That's good though. You know what? I used to be into some heavy music. We'll get to that in a bit, but I used to be into some. So then I've kind of faded out of it. I'm not really sure why, but listening to the albums kind of got me going again. You know, when I'm going to work at 6:15 in the morning, and that's cranking on my stuff. That's pretty good.
Nice.
Kind of gets you going. So. So let's talk it's a 22 release, I believe. Parasitic Sapiens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was the writing process, recording? How'd that all go?
We actually started recording that album back in 2019?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a victim of the pandemic, that one. So we started recording in mid 2019, doing some like pre-production on it. And one important thing to mention when it comes to the album is that Shane Fletcher, who sings on that album, passed away in late 2020. So the voice that you hear on that is his, and he was a key, like the most important part of like kind of like our writing process. So at the time, Shane basically wrote like everything that he was going to write. He's the primary songwriter in the band. And when we lost him in 2020, we had almost the entire album complete. There was only one song that really he wasn't finished with, and the rest was just like kind of my parts, a little bit of Keegan and Carson stuff to finish up. And so with the grieving process and everything like that, as well as a global pandemic kind of slowing us down, it took that long to get it out in 2022. So it's a pretty special record for us, just because of like what it signifies for everybody in the band.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, obviously global pandemic, you said, slowed you down. Was that everything from the live show to just recording?
Oh. Yeah. Like with, I guess, like, the varying degrees of what, you were permitted to do and all those things. It was hard to be able to get into a space to finish like the actual recording and things like that. So, and then of course, like we played our last show in, what was it?
I think it was March 13th
of
2020. And then like the next day, everything shut down. It was at the North Hill Inn in Brandon, and it was a big turnout, but there was definitely like everybody was kind of, what's going to happen? And, we were like doing the elbow handshake. I remember at the venue, and
all that dumb stuff.
And then I remember after that show, we went back to Winnipeg, and then it was like, everybody's off work for 2 weeks, and then things will start up normal again. And so that was our last show with Shane, and I remember over that. Then I mean the restrictions had eased off a bit in Manitoba that summer, so we'd gotten into the Studio 23, it's called, and it basically like almost finished our album except for like one more day, and then the restrictions really got heavy again, and then our friend passed away, and so I remember in 2022 I don't know, things were kind of going back to normal, and we were just like, guys, if we don't finish this album soon, it's never going to get done. And so I think it was March 2022, or was it 22? Yeah, I think so. March 2022, we went for our final day back at Studio 23 and finished the album. And at the time, then our good buddy Carson here, he figured he would step in as the new guitar player in Ramskull, and then we recruited our good friend Jamie Otto to play the drums. Jamie was working today, so we couldn't make it for the podcast, but he's an integral part of the band as well. So and so that's modern day Ramskull, the four of us.
Excellent. So where are you guys actually based out of? Are you from Winnipeg?
We say we're from Manitoba. Like Keegan and I live in Winnipeg right now, but we were kind of like raised in different parts of the province. Carson, where are you right now, man?
I'm from just outside of Oak Lake, Manitoba, west of Brandon.
Okay, yeah.
And Jamie's from Beausejour and currently lives in Selkirk. I was from like Woodlands, Manitoba. You were?
I'm from Glenora. I went to school in Boulder. It's kind of like 2 hours southwest of Winnipeg. Yeah.
So we're kind of
you're all over the place.
We hail from all corners. Yeah.
Well, I'm originally from McGregor, so.
Oh, right on. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you know where that is. So I've lived in Winnipeg for 20 years now, but McGregor originally. So.
Nice.
I see you guys. I see you guys played in Portage at the Masonic Hall, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then I see you guys. I've never been to the Masonic Hall. I was in Portage last weekend and I actually drove by to see what the place looked like. So I've never been there.
It was a neat old building. Yeah.
It
was kind of interesting. Like the hall or whatever. It was pretty much a basement almost, or like. The windows, were a bit above ground, but it was like pretty much kind of somewhat of a basement. It was a beautiful room. I was like warming up with my violin before we played, and I was like, God dang, this
the acoustics are neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very neat venue for sure.
If you go to a show though, avoid like anything that's probably above plus 25 because like you will die in there. Bring lots of fluids, otherwise, holy man.
Yeah.
That's the hottest show that I've ever played. I think like it was hot there.
Well, honestly, sorry.
No, go ahead.
But honestly, we're grateful to play Portage though. Like it's pretty nice to have any kind of a venue to play, especially when we're playing heavier music like we do. Definitely played in some of those hot, sweltering venues before, but you make the most of it.
Yeah, that's right, eh? Speaking of shows, anything coming up?
Actually, we're heading west in 2 weeks. 2 weeks today, actually, have already played Loud as Hell Fest out in Drumheller. So we're doing the big metal fest out there, and then we've got something booked at the end of August that hasn't been announced yet, so I don't really want to spill the beans. And we have a few. We're going to go to the Paw the first. What is it? October 3rd or something? October 5th,
I think. October 5th. Yeah.
So making the trip up there, and there, a few other things that haven't been announced yet that I can't talk about just yet.
Yeah, Loud as Hell. That's been our big like this whole year since we won Metal Band of the Year and won the honor to play Loud as Hell. We've been gearing up for it, like really trying to tighten up that half-hour set that we get to play, and just lots of planning going into that, and it's we kind of see it as our our most one of our most pivotal shows of all time, if not the most, of course. So the best chance to play to a whole big new audience and meet some rub elbows with like the other metal bands of Western Canada, and it's going to be a great time.
Excellent. I see you guys. You're up for a couple Loud Awards again.
Yeah, that's it's coming up. What's the name? Metal Band of the Year, guitar player, vocalist, bass player, entertainer. Are you in that one?
So I'm nominated for performer, vocalist, and guitarist.
Yeah.
Jamie's up for drummer of the year, Mike's up for bassist of the year, and metal band of the year.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, last year you guys took home single of the year, album of the year?
Yep. Yeah, that was kind of that was like to me, like the individual awards are awesome, but kind of like the recognition for the single and the album was like really, really cool.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting, since this is only my second week being like hosting the podcast. It was originally done from another person, but what I've set out to do up until the award show is at least have one band that will be at the MLMAs every Sunday. Just want to have at least one band. Obviously, I've been lucky. I've got a couple bands. I got you guys and Ash and the Arsonist tonight.
Awesome.
I think Sleep Rest has a couple coming up too. So, but I think the interesting thing about Winnipeg is I've really noticed the connection with the bands and the support you're getting from the bands, and I find that the award show is really bringing some people together. I think it's a great thing, and obviously you guys know Dag. I've never met Dag, but I've talked to him recently, hoping to get him on the show before the awards as well, just to kind of talk about it, because I think it's people know it around here, but I'm trying to get the word out that there's some good bands and they're being recognized for what they're doing, right?
Yeah, I think you're kind of nailing it there. Like the award show is like, I think, immensely important to the scene right now in this city, and it just kind of, from first and foremost, it's structured to just like bring people together, and like last year's award ceremony was incredible. Like it just like a happy, no tension whatsoever environment. Everybody's happy for each other, taking pictures with each other, all this stuff, and like the scene, I think, is like needed something like this for a long time. So like what Dag and the rest of the team are doing, I think is really cool. So
yeah, for sure. You see even there's an award for ambassador of the year, and it's also recognizing the fans too, right? And exactly. the fans deserve it. The bands are given to the fans, and the fans deserve a little bit of recognition too for people going to these shows and supporting as well. So
they're also now doing podcast of the year too. So next year we'll nominate for that.
Yeah, there's a couple good podcasts. Keegan, I see you were on Two Bait Girls not long ago.
Yeah, I was. That was great.
It was good.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
It was pretty good though.
Yeah, they were super professional and. I had a lot of fun on there. I recommend checking it out. It was a pretty fun episode.
I talked to one of them last week, and we're in talks of maybe merging for one show. So
we'll do it, for sure.
Kind of the double podcast thing. So they seem like a lot of fun, and I noticed you were on there, and Evan from the Northern Royals I saw was on there. I've known Evan for years now, so just seemed like a good time. And I thought, you know what, let's do a double podcast and just have some fun with it. So.
Be awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. They kind of do all sorts of people on their podcasts, like people from the music scene. There's like all things marijuana related, I guess, as far as growth and whatnot. I was even seeing, I think they even had there's it's great though. Yeah, it's nice to give support to the local music scene, and yeah, I think that's a great idea to do a collaboration with them.
And they're also co-hosts. They're co-hosts of the Loud Awards too. So
yes, that's right.
Yeah.
So influences. I noticed. I went on your social media there, kind of went back a little bit, and just get more of a feel of what kind of band you are. And I noticed there was some kind of name 20 bands that influence your style.
Yeah.
So a wide range. I saw some Rush in there, and a couple other bands, Alice in Chains. It wasn't the most obvious album from Alice in Chains, but I think I understand it. So there was one that I noticed though, Avenged Sevenfold, Waking the Fallen. Obviously,
that was me. I put it on there. That was
yeah, it was you.
Band, or that album in particular was super influential for me back in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And even though we don't sound like them per se, but yeah, I don't know. They've definitely had a big influence on my playing, and yeah, we're definitely one of my diehard ride or die bands back then, and probably still are now, I guess. So
Yeah,
I think the Alice in Chains was you too. Right?
it was, yeah. That was my favorite album of theirs.
So I guess the reason I brought that up is they're a band that you look at Waking the Fallen to City of Evil to Self-Titled to Nightmare, the Stage. You start going through albums and they're constantly evolving their sound, right? Like you listen to even Sounding the Seventh Trumpet. I think that was the first one. Yeah. They just evolved and evolved and evolved into whether the fan base liked it or not, right? They just kept going with it. And is that something for Ramskull, or are you set in your way that this is the music you're making? And
no, Carson, do you want to answer that one, man?
I hope I'm speaking for everyone when I say that top priority is keeping things weird. I think that speaks for itself. I don't know if I need to elaborate. We don't want to be put in any boxes, and some of us are gifted multi-instrumentalists, and we don't feel there's any reason to not cram as much bullshit into what we do as we can.
Yeah, I think to just add on to that, I think the one big thing is that like pretty much our the main factor, if you will, into like what's kind of developed the Ramskull sound kind of over the years is unfortunately gone, right? So it'll, no matter what it'll evolve into something different. It's we've started writing some new stuff. We're just getting started on that, and hope that we're going to be hitting the studio maybe this winter. But everything is like, we still want to be recognizable in Ramskull, but at the same time, like Carson said, we want to keep it weird. It primarily, I mean, it's a little bit cheesy to say or whatever, but we do kind of primarily just want to make the music that we want to play, kind of thing, right? And then hopefully people like it, and so with that being said, like we're, I don't know how many instruments we put on Parasitic Sapiens album. I know I said 16 once in an interview, and it's not 16, it's more like 10 or something like that. But the goal is to be like 16 or 26 even, just to really just like put as much into it as we can, and just whatever works. And so the sound will definitely evolve. That's for sure.
Who's the multi-instrumentalist, or is it all of you?
Keegan primarily.
Yeah, violin as well as guitar on the last album, and I did some clean vocals. Carson did a ton of crazy, weird percussion instruments on that last album as well. I can't even name them all. But, the triangle for sure. That was a good one.
There's a triangle solo on the album.
I want to say bongos, but I'm like, that's not right.
They were tempo blocks. Yeah, they were like the mallet percussion instrument that sounds like the horse running in a cartoon.
So yeah, there's the vibra slaps in there.
Yeah.
that's good though.
I couldn't have said some of us are gifted multi-instrumentalists. We all play multiple instruments, and we're all pretty gifted. I just meant some of us had put some weird shit on record already. Sounded exclusionary. Some of us only play one instrument.
Yeah.
Jamie.
Is there any other bands out there that you guys are listening to, especially in the local scene?
Oh, absolutely.
Local scene. Go ahead.
Probably top bands for Winnipeg for me right now are Inhumed, Slow Spirit. Really into Ken Mode's last couple albums, although they've never missed. Yeah, Propaganda. Always listening to Propaganda.
I'm a big Book of Ghosts fan.
Yeah.
Geez, there's so many good bands. Inhume, Tyrant Surmise, Indigo. We just played a couple shows with Spectre, and I have the utmost respect for that band. That band puts in some serious work, and they're a great band. Who else? Played with Evil Peace last week. They're great. Orders from No One, who's kind of more of a rock band, harder rock band, and I think they're probably my favorite rock band that I've heard in the last few years for sure. So how about you?
I was gonna mention I played some cello and violin at the end of Inhume's last EP.
So
on their songs. Guys. And just name off some of the cool punk bands I've listened to too. Your Mom and the Castains. Those are both some really sick local bands here.
Manther.
Oh yeah.
Manther's my favorite hardcore band right now for sure. That's there's so many. The talent in this city is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Yeah, it seems it's about time it gets recognized, right? I think for myself, when I really recognized the music coming out of Winnipeg, for me it started with it was called Live at the Roslyn. I'm not sure if you guys ever saw that, but that's where it really stood out to me, is that there was such support in it, and then it just kept evolving and evolving, and then you're seeing some heavier bands come out, and it's just so good to see. Like I said about the awards, just so good to see it being recognized in a time where it's not really recognized as much as it should be.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's the Loud. I can't say enough about the Loud Awards, so I kind of I'm good buddies with Dag and stuff like that. So it's I can't say enough good things about what they're doing and what's going on and stuff like that. And all I know is that it's just going to continue to grow. They've come a long way in 4 years, and I know some of the plans it's going to get pretty crazy, and it's always going to be to support the local scene too, and just bring light to the hard work that the heavy scene does, or the hard rock scene, or the loud scene in this city, or in the province actually,
Mm-hmm.
So
it's honestly pretty rad, for the voting and stuff. When you have that whole list of guitarists of the year, punk bands of the year, rock bands, whatever, it's kind of like a digital magazine, right, of people in the scene. And so maybe it's a way to just see what's out there for musicians and bands and stuff. And I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, for sure. Do any of you have any other side projects of any kind?
Oh, Carson.
Yeah, I'm in a grindcore band called PTO Grind. We're playing my backyard this upcoming Saturday.
Oh, excellent! Yeah.
I'm gonna I'll do a little plug. Me and my buddy Shane are gonna play that party as well. We're just gonna do a bunch of acoustic covers with him on acoustic guitar and me on violin. So
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I will say that if anybody, what? If anybody gets a chance,
I just built the stage this morning.
Oh, nice. I would say PTO is a great band to check out, though. Carson really does have a great band there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in a obituary cover band with
Okay.
with guys from various other bands. We played a few shows called Godly Beings, So yeah, so I'm doing that. But aside from that, yeah, Ramskull's number one.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of Ramskull, merch, where can guys get merch for the band? I've seen a little bit of it, and it's colorful. Looks good.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, go ahead.
Just message us up. You can. It's all just in my house right now here, or all of my close. Yeah, we got T-shirts, we got CDs, we got a couple of hoodies left. But yeah, you can either just if you know one of us, just message us directly, or you can message the Ramskull Instagram or Facebook page. And if you're in Winnipeg, you can either arrange to meet up and drop it off for you. I have mailed our merch out to people in other provinces. I think in one of those little whatever post boxes. It's they've gone up in price quite a bit, but for like $20, you can like get a hoodie and like CD or whatever kind of shipped to wherever in Canada. I mean, as far as shipping goes, maybe I'll quickly just grab one of our things.
For sure.
Yeah, or we always have the whole inventory with us at any show we play. So it's we're fairly available and pretty easy to find to get whatever you're looking for. So yeah, Keegan's got the star of the show.
Yeah, show off our
the Ram to go.
Yeah, so this was made by Mitch Jansen with he's has the art company or moniker of Hell's End Designs, I think.
Yep.
And so yeah, he's an awesome local artist. We call this guy the Ram to go. It's pretty sick. Yeah, we got a bunch of these shirts in stock. If anybody's interested in buying them, just message us up, and yeah, we can get you looking fly in no time.
Excellent. Is there before we kind of wrap things up here, is there anything you'd like to say to anyone watching? Or obviously we're live on YouTube right now, and then it gets posted to Facebook after. Okay. Anything you want to say to anyone watching, any of your fans out there?
Carson.
Buy our stuff, please.
Anybody who's watching, I mean, I just like to, I just always thank everybody for their support, and I feel like we're pretty lucky with being able to do what we get to do and see the people that we get to see and the support that we get. And we do have a lot more new stuff coming up in the future. Like I said, we're working on some new music, and we're venturing into the world of music videos, and we've got some bigger shows coming up too. And just hope people continue to check us out, and that's what I got to say.
Yeah, I just wanted to say we've been shown like a ton of love these last few years, and it's pretty amazing when people are, posting our songs or whatever and being like, "Oh, this song is amazing" or whatever like that. I'm just like, "Oh my god!" We've pretty much done this band for ourselves, or we make the music for our own enjoyment or whatever. And when we hear that other people enjoy it too, I mean, it's a humbling, like amazing feeling. And we plan to keep on trucking and giving her the next or in the foreseeable future.
There's no end in sight.
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent. Awesome. Well, Carson, Mike, Keegan, Ramskull, thanks for making it on the show, guys.
Thanks so much.
Good luck at the awards show, and it'll be the first one I've attended, so hopefully you guys can win something, and we'll see you there.
Be awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah.
It'll be great to meet you there in person. Yeah.
Definitely looking forward to meeting you.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Okay.
Have a good one, bud. Bye.
Yeah.